3 weeks after leaving Yellowknife to escape the wildfires, people are being told they can come back.
They've been out of their homes for weeks since the entire city was evacuated from a threatening wildfire.
The evacuation order has been lifted, and people can make their way back today after 11 a.m. That's because the two fires that pose the greatest danger to the city, being just a few kilometers away at times, they're being held off, and the risk to the community is a lot lower.
There have been big fire berms, protective control lines put around the city to protect it.
And the mayor says Yellowknife doesn't look the same. There's a 100-meter fire break circling the city.
Now, getting 22,000 people out in just a day and a half was hard, and getting them back won't be a walk in the park either. There was only one road out, and that means there's only one road back in. But there's not just, transportation to worry about. Things like healthcare, grocery stores, gas stations. Service was suspended during the evacuation, and they need time to get back up and running. So how will Yellowknife return to normal?
Residents are coming back in the reverse order of the evacuation. So the general public who require minimal supports will be welcomed back first, and residents who need more healthcare and/or shelter supports would come back when services are ready and available for them.
So the only way to do it is in phases. Essential workers started coming back a couple days before the official evacuation order was lifted, in order to get things started back up. Although services likely won't be back to full capacity for a while.
Please be patient because of our limited capacity. We estimate it'll take us a month to reach full capacity, and that includes repatriating all the inpatients who were transferred to Alberta and British Columbia.
And unlike the evacuation, where vulnerable people and people with medical conditions were some of the first to get taken out, officials say they should hold off coming back in the first wave. Instead, they should come back when things are a little more stable, which could take up to a month.
I'm planning to leave real early Wednesday to get there as fast as I can before everyone going there.
Thousands of people are in that same situation. And think about it, right? Being away from your home, living out of a hotel room for 3 weeks, you can understand wanting to get back the first moment you could. About 7,000 people left Yellowknife by car, and that can create bottlenecks and long delays in getting back.
We know that the drive can be long. There were reports of those who, when they left, it taking 18 hours to get to their destinations in Alberta. And so it's presumably that there will be some heading back today. And there are already reports of more highway traffic along that route back into Yellowknife.
For the people returning on Wednesday, the day the order is officially lifted, it's going to be congested. Like I said, one road in, one road out. Officials are setting up porta potties along the highway, and there will be tow trucks available in case they're needed. But they're also encouraging people to have supplies with them in case there are those long delays.
Having some food and water in your vehicle, and just recognizing that a lot of times, I know when folks drive Edmonton to Yellowknife, they like to stop off in High Level and stay for the night. That might not be an option.
We have 999 hotel rooms, and every one of them's booked.
Here in High Level, Alberta, businesses are stocking up, and the evacuation center has 300 cots for people to stop and rest.
But there are also other issues to look out for when it comes to driving back. For one, it's dark. It might still be smoky in some areas, making it hard to see. And, there is a chance that wildlife that have been pushed from their homes because of the fires, they could be on the roads and on the highways. Fortunately, driving's not the only way back. You can also fly. So today and for the next 5 days, the territorial government has flights available to bring people back from areas where they were evacuated to. So Calgary, Edmonton, and others.
We are asking you to plan to be safe and prepared and not to prioritize being first.
And the city will be able to transport people from the airport where they touch down to their homes or to a common location, like the school, where many left their vehicles on their way out of town. The mayor of Yellowknife is telling people to bring the first 72 hours of provisions with them. That means cash, food, medicine.
It's going to be basic services. So limited healthcare. The grocery stores aren't fully back and operational. It'll have limited staff.
banks, take a bit of time to get up, pharmacy. So think about bringing the medicines that you would need.
Because getting people back is really just the beginning of this process. It's going to take time for services and businesses to get back up and running again. According to the city, the Yellowknife you return to immediately post-evacuation will not be the community you are used to. Translation: gas stations might not have gas, grocery stores might not have groceries.
We will definitely be the second place people go to. Once they go home, they're going to want to come to the grocery store. I'm just hoping everybody is cool and calm and collective.
Schools are starting a couple weeks late with a soft start. Even the hospital will have limited capacity, according to the health minister.
Our ability to provide services depends on having our dedicated staff back on the ground. We'll bring services online as quickly as possible, and timely updates will continue to be provided to the public.
Now, one big caveat to all of this: the return is very dependent on the weather and the condition of the highways. If the winds change, it could shift the wildfires that are still burning and put Yellowknife back in the danger zone. But to really understand the scale of this return, let's rewind to a few weeks ago when the fires were first closing in on Yellowknife. And there was the same challenge of relocating more than 20,000 people, but on a 36-hour deadline.
Unfortunately, our wildfire situation has taken another turn for the worst, with the fire burning west of Yellowknife now representing a real threat to the city.
An evacuation of this scale has to be done in phases, and you start with those areas most under threat. So the fire is coming from the southwest, and the first parts of Yellowknife that'll get hit are this, and this. People living in those areas were asked to evacuate Wednesday night. Everyone else was given a longer timeline, leave by Friday noon, which in theory leaves plenty of time if the fire is slated to hit this weekend. Better still if the rain they're expecting can slow it down.
I think everybody on my street is pretty much gone. I see maybe 2 houses down, somebody's still packing. I think I'm one of the last to leave my street.
But they also can't just think of triage by geography. They're also going by need.
We started a phased evacuation yesterday, beginning with people who were in long-term care in Stanton Legacy, then moving on to supported living services clients who were moved this morning.
It is a given. Older, vulnerable people take longer to pull out of a dangerous situation. Evacuation itself is also risky if rushed because they may not be so mobile and may get hurt.
Mentally, I'm exhausted. Well, I think most people are, because it's been terribly worrisome and you can't sleep.
Then it's just a matter of compassion. Helping vulnerable people first may also help to reduce stress as they are evacuated during a time that is generally less intense. More considerations can be made for their comfort. You know, evacuations are never comfortable, but making it as comfortable as possible for those who need it is absolutely something governments think about. So anyone with medical, mobility, or any other health concerns, they're a priority.
I want to reiterate, the fire is not here. By issuing a community evacuation now, we can implement the evacuation plan while the highway is still open and with plenty of flights to fully evacuate everyone.
Yellowknife has a huge problem when it comes to evacuations. There's only one road out. Or, I should say there are technically 3, but one goes nowhere and the other melts at this time of year. From the downtown core, you could head north up Highway 4, the Ingram Trail. But after about an hour of driving, you're probably no better off than you were because it's all backcountry. And the only community you can reach is also under an evacuation order. So, you may just as easily be driving into danger than away from it. There's another route, but with the same problem. The Detta Ice Road travels across a section of Great Slave Lake, but to a community where fire is also bearing down, and yes, it's summer, the ice road has melted. So that leaves one way out, Highway 3, up and around the lake, heading west before embarking on the long drive south. It's about 15 hours from Yellowknife to Edmonton.
I want to stress that the road is safe to drive. Please ensure you have enough fuel before leaving.
Fortunately, Yellowknife has an airport, but you can't possibly fly 22,000 people out on such short notice. So this is where triage and coordination come in again. Coordination because Yellowknife has called in reinforcements. Commercial carriers, contractors, even the Royal Canadian Air Force. They've all been tapped to help fly people out of the danger zone.
Air Canada has given us 2 extra flights at 2 and 5:15. We have Air Canadian North that has a number of are ready to go, and as well the Army has Hercs that they're going to allow us to be using too.
And priority is given to those with health needs that make a 15-hour road trip too difficult or impossible. So they've decided on multiple ways out, but supporting people along the journey is also a huge undertaking.
You have to have consideration of the types of supplies that would be needed for long hours. Again, in those first coming hours and days, you're going to see a whole stream of vehicles. Not like any other day, you're going to run into those situations where a vehicle might break down on the highway. And do you have enough fuel to sustain a waiting game?
You heard the minister earlier reminding people to fuel up for the trip. That's because you could easily drive hours and not see a single gas station. Remember, this is a very remote part of Canada, so the plan is to have at least one tanker set up along the highway, a way for people to gas up if they run out. They've also deployed a fleet of tow trucks in case people get stranded or there are accidents, because keeping traffic flowing is so important when you only have one road to work with. And I should say, this is not exactly the easiest road to travel right now.
With the feast.
The honeydew with Brian Sickler.
Right. Enterprise.
Conditions will be smoky, and residents should drive with caution and care.
So emergency officials have also planned for pilot drivers to hit the road, kind of like elephants guiding each other, trunk to tail, if visibility becomes an issue. Now, when it comes to flying, support is kind of built in because they're specifically using it as a way of making sure that people get care on the other side of the trip. I'll explain what I mean. So if someone needs close medical attention, imagine how messy it might be to send them packing on a highway hoping they arrive wearing it. Flying by plane means authorities know exactly when and where and how to link up with that person once they're safely at the destination airport, and that continuum of care is unbroken. The final step of the evacuation is making sure people have a place to actually go, depending on where they're coming from, how they got there, and what their needs are. This all has to be mapped out beforehand. So those traveling from Yellowknife by car, they're directed to different sites across Alberta. If they're traveling by air, they go directly to Calgary.
So there's a lot that's getting done. I'll tell you right now, in the Calgarys, the Edmontons, the Red Deer, been working around the clock, just preparing for the introduction of new people into their community.
But once there, keeping people safe, fed, healthy, informed, that's a whole other logistical challenge. And that's to say nothing of where all of this ultimately leads. You know, eventually, ideally, all of these people have to get back home.
Is there things like a grocery store ready to accept people back home? Is there fuel back in their gas stations? Those normal everyday things that you and I live and rely on are taken out of our own assumptions when we're told we can go back in.
And to some extent, you have to organize the whole exodus again, but in reverse. Meanwhile, the wildfire fight goes on. It is an everyday uphill struggle, with only a relatively small number of essential personnel staying back in Yellowknife, hoping to save as much property as possible.
The main challenge is visibility, smokes, and the winds. If the wind's in our favor, we can do good work, but if the wind turns around and there's too much smoke, it's too dangerous. We can direct the direction of the fire, but we cannot actually stop it all the time.
It is a tough job, but one hopefully made easier when the city's emptied out.